I don't know how I got here or why I'm playing this game. All I know is that I'm trapped in an endless loop, forced to play by rules I don't understand. The game is called Smile, and if I want to survive, I have to keep a smile on my face no matter what. It started out simple enough. I woke up in a small, dimly lit room with no windows or doors. The only furniture was a wooden chair I was sitting on. I called out asking if anyone was there, but got no response. With no visible way out, I sat there waiting, figuring someone had to show up eventually. After what felt like hours, a section of the wall finally slid open. A tall figure stood silhouetted in the opening, their features obscured by shadows. When they spoke, their voice was distorted and robotic, like it was being broadcast over an intercom. "Welcome, player. You have been selected to play Smile. The goal is very simple. You must keep smiling no matter what happens. If you stop smiling, you lose. The game will begin now." The wall slid shut, enveloping me in darkness again. I chuckled nervously to myself. This had to be some weird prank. But I decided to play along, plastering an exaggerated grin on my face. How hard could it be to just smile? At first it was easy. With nothing happening, I lounged in my chair, grinning like an idiot. After a while, though, my cheeks started aching from being stretched for so long. As time dragged on, it became exhausting maintaining the rictus smile. But I kept reminding myself this was just a game. Eventually, the wall opened again, and the shadowy figure appeared. In their hands was a small basket. "You've done well so far, but let's make things a little more interesting." They placed the basket on the floor and slid a photo across to me. I picked it up, still grinning. It was a picture of my childhood dog, Rex. He died when I was 9 years old. I felt a pang of grief, but kept the smile plastered on my face. "Good," the figure said in their distorted voice. "Now let's try something else to test your resolve." They slid another photo over. This one showed my girlfriend and I on vacation last year. We had broken up 3 months ago. I stared at her smiling face, memories of our relationship flooding back. My face twitched, struggling to maintain the strained smile. The photos kept coming, each one hitting me with waves of complex emotions: joy, grief, anger, loss. Pictures of deceased relatives, my wrecked car after an accident, an ex-friend who betrayed me. That creeping smile became harder to sustain, but I refused to break, reminding myself it was just part of the game. Then came the injuries. At first minor, a small cut on my arm, a mild burn on my hand, then escalating slowly, paper cuts between my fingers. A dislocated finger snapped back into place. With each new affliction, it took immense effort not to grimace in pain. The injuries kept intensifying. Broken bones, sprains, deep lacerations, each more agonizing than the last. I writhed in the chair, sweat dripping down my strained face that was warped into a gruesome mask-like smile. But I would not lose this sadistic game. Time lost all meaning as my small room became a torture chamber. When the figure appeared now, I wanted to scream at them, vowing I would never stop smiling. My vision blurred, consciousness threatening to slip away completely from the ravages inflicted upon my body. Still, I clung to that smile desperately, even as blood gurgled up from my throat. Then everything went black. Slowly my awareness returned. No more chair, no more room. I was laying on my back in the dark. My body still throbbed with agony, but I refused to stop smiling. I had won. A faint point of light flickered above me, growing steadily brighter. It illuminated the impossible scene before my eyes. Countless bodies surrounded me, all battered and broken, stacked in a heap within some vast cavernous space. And they were all smiling, frozen corpses locked in wretched grins. Horror slowly crept over me at what I was seeing. But the smiles proved we were still in the game. We had not lost. From the darkness, shuffling footsteps approached. A figure loomed over me, their face still one with the shadows. The distorted voice spoke again. "Well done. You've completed level 1. Now let's begin level 2. A new type of pain erupted as the figure went to work. My body begged to scream, writhe, cry, but I denied it that relief. Because if I broke my smile, I lost. And something told me the price of losing here was more than I could bear. So I will keep smiling no matter what fresh agony they inflict. I will lay here amongst the piles of grinning corpses, my torn face fixed in an anguished smile. Let this be my mask. Let this game go on forever. I will not be broken. I refuse to lose. I don't know how long I've been trapped in this nightmare game. There is no way to track the passage of time in the dark cavern. It feels like years, though rationally some part of me hopes it's only been days or weeks. But does it really matter either way? However long I've been playing Smile, it has already felt like an eternity in hell. After completing the first 2 levels, the games have only grown more sadistic. The mysterious figure who torments me seems to take perverse glee in crafting new ways to test my will. They are constantly devising more twisted physical and psychological pains to inflict. My ravaged body has become a canvas for their insane vision. I've been burned, electrocuted, beaten mercilessly, and mutilated in unimaginable ways. Every bone broken and reset, left to heal crookedly. My skin flayed and peeled back like parchment, eyes plucked out slowly over many sessions, leaving me writhing sightless in the dark. Always after the torment, I'm left to writhe amongst the piles of corpses in various states of decay. An ever-growing monument commemorating my refusal to lose this game. Their rigid smiling rictuses mock me, teeth glinting in the dim light, congratulating me for keeping a grin stretched across my own mutilated face. In the beginning, I told myself this surely had to be a nightmare I would wake from, but any last grasp on reality has steadily slipped away. Madness has crept in to fill those cracks in my psyche. Now I truly believe this cavern of horrors is all there is. The game, my sole purpose for still drawing breath. I no longer remember my name, my life before this. Nothing exists except the need to smile. When I hear the shuffling footsteps approaching in the dark, my tormentor coming to present the next round, sick anticipation and primal fear grip me. But beneath it all, a part of me hungers for the pain, because the pain means I'm still playing, and I must play on forever. My humanity has been peeled away, strip by strip, just like the skin flayed from my back, all erased except the game. Smile eternally. Never scream, not even when I hear the screams of previous victims echoing back at me. Their voices preserved as recordings, their shrill agony at having lost broadcast for my amusement. Or perhaps as a reminder of what fate awaits if I slip up. Something has been carved into my back, words etched deep into the muscle and sinew. My tormentor did this recently, though I know not what they wrote. But I feel the raised, jagged scars stretching with each movement, an eternal inscription marking me as a player of Smile. Occasionally between torture sessions, they bring a grimy mirror to show me my reflection. I glimpse a faceless thing, more skull than flesh, glistening red muscles pulled back over teeth in a terrible grin. Each time I see this, I am proud. This is me now, a perfect player. I have come to crave these glimpses of myself. They are a reward for doing well in the game, for embracing the pain and not letting my smile falter. This is who I am now. The rules of Smile are etched into my bones. What a good player I've become. I will keep playing forever if I must, until my body is too mangled to go on. Then I know my tormentor will simply add me to the piles of corpses. I will join their ranks, frozen in a smile, waiting for the next lost soul who wakes up trapped in this evil game, ready to taunt them with echoing screams as they slowly unravel, to remind them to keep smiling. Smile, smile. We all must play by the rules here. Someone has to teach the game to the newcomers, and I believe I am ready now to fulfill that role when my time as player ends. But not yet. I will play just a little longer. I must. I don't know how much more of this nightmare I can take. Lately, staying focused on the game has become difficult. Lapses in judgment led to slips in my smile, which my tormentor was quick to punish. Failure and pain have blurred together, indivisible. My ravaged body screams for mercy, but I cannot grant it. Mercy means the end of the game, and some primal part of me still clings fiercely to playing, even as my sanity unravels. Complete sensory deprivation has become the newest twist in my torture. I'm left floating in silent darkness with no stimuli, no notion of time or space or even my own body. Just a disembodied smile drifting through the void. My only tether, the requirement to keep smiling. But with no sense of self, no way to feel the muscles of my face, how do I know my smile remains? Have I already lost without realizing it? This thought spurs a spiral into madness. I try to will my lips to turn upward, stretching my phantom grin wider and wider into the darkness. When my tormentor returns, I weep with relief at the resurgence of sensation. First just the cold, hard ground beneath my back, then the searing agony of a new mutilation. I embrace it as proof I'm still playing. But my grip on reality is slipping. I've started seeing things in the dark that aren't there. Visions of my former self and loved ones, their pleading eyes begging me to end this game. Other times I see grotesque beings with gnashing teeth and hungry eyes, circling just outside my view. The screams of those who lost before me have also taken on a more tangible presence. Their muted cries at first, now clearly audible shrieking that echoes all around, unrelenting. I try to block them out, but they accuse me of failing them, letting them die. In my darkest moments, I wonder if death would be mercy, to finally let go of this eternal smile. But I know I will not receive such mercy. The figure who rules this game will not allow me peace until they have extracted every last ounce of suffering. My only respite is when exhaustion takes me. Then I dream I am still playing, carrying out acts of violence to prove my commitment to the game. In the best dreams, I become the tormentor, unleashing new sadistic punishments on faceless victims. I think these visions please my master. When I describe them aloud, my reward is a period of rest before the games begin again. In those still moments, I have chance to reflect. And I realize my humanity has not been stripped away. It has willingly peeled itself back, slowly exposing the monstrosity beneath. The game is changing me, awakening darker urges and appetites. I now crave the screams more than silence, the pain more than peace. When my master returns, I gaze upon their instruments of torment like a child eyeing gifts under a tree. We still only communicate through distorted intercom voices, but a deeper understanding seems to exist between us. Two artists cultivating a masterpiece of anguish and insanity, and I have learned so very much from them. Soon it will be time for this player to retire. My body has endured all it can, my mind stretched to its brink. I fear oblivion but feel prepared to join the ranks of the smiling dead. To rest knowing I played the game well. The torch must be passed. I hope they find a worthy successor. Someone strong-willed but malleable, ready to be molded into a creature even I could never fathom. I wish I could see the beautiful madness this game will wring from them, but I have played my part. Now I take my place among the lifeless piles of flesh. Still smiling, always smiling. Gaze upon my shattered form, player yet unknown. See your glorious future reflected back in me. Let the games continue. Smile.